Yeah, hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you. We're back again this morning. Our second video for the day. Yes, this one on the matter will concern Nigeria. As we all know that a lot of things are going on right now in Nigeria, which is not very pleasing at all. So I thought, okay, let's talk about this. Our brother, Mr. Stephen Ramato, is going to take us through on this particular one. Please share and so they join, hit the like button as well. Encourage us to do more for you. I'll urge you all to please join me. Let's watch and see what our brother Mr. Stephen Ramato is going to say right now. Thank you and God bless you all.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, this is me, your brother, your friend. I just quickly decided to do this one this morning because of what is happening right here in Nigeria. I'm a little bit worried. You know, what's really happening in this country. I couldn't sleep so well because of events that is really unfolding in this country as of today. You probably heard of this just crisis for a very long time now. People have been killed. There have been a lot of genocidal actions and inactions in just another part of Nigeria also. I'm going to just deal on it, in a general term, but I'm going to dwell more on the just crisis today. That's really fearful to me. And I expected the presidency led by General Muhammadu Buhari to have, as a matter of fact, said something, in regard to the atrocities, the killings, the maiming, the menace that is happening in Plateau State. But right now, it looks as if nothing is happening. They are running after shadows. They are looking for who to blame. They are looking for who to get arrested, where they try to tell them the truth. We all know of what they wanted to do to Commando Kunle, who came out and what's it called? Let the cat out of the bag, who came, revealed some very deep secrets about this government of Buhari, the intention of Ismailization and Fulanization, the people who are sponsoring Boko Haram. Bandits are not bandits, they are actually terrorists, but they are giving them bandits in order to soften the international community intervention in the crisis that has beclouded Nigeria. Okay, guys. Now, a few days ago, I saw the Lagos State Governor evacuating Lagosians who are in Unijust and other ones in Plateau, out of Plateau State. The other day again, I saw another state again in the south also evacuating their people out of Plateau. This morning, after my normal morning devotion, I decided to just go through the Facebook again, and I saw again that the Imo governor has evacuated about 200 Imolites out of Plateau. Then I need to ask some very valid questions. Is Nigeria not at war? Because I know the only time there's an evacuation of people from a particular place to another is when there is an high level of insecurity. We all know what is happening right now in Afghanistan, where people are not being evacuated from that place as a result of the taking over of the reign of government by the Taliban militia group or terrorist group. Why are state governors evacuating their people from Just if Nigeria is safe? The governor of Plateau State is downplaying the crime, the genocidal crime that is being committed in his state, all for political correctness and political gain and benefit. People like me who believes in telling the truth the way they are, who believes in saying things clearly and easy, I will always come out to educate my people, to tell my people the other side of the story that they are not thinking. That is my job as a social media influencer. Now, the moment there is an evacuation, that shows security had fallen beyond the control of the government in power. That shows the warlords, which are now the bandits and the Fulani herders, have taken over the reign and the control of government in that very particular state. That is when there's going to be an evacuation of people, of indigenous of other parts of the nation or the world out of what we call the danger zone. So right now, Plateau State is a danger zone. It's a no-go area for Nigerians, no talk of international communities. What is the government of President Muhammadu Buhari doing about it? Nothing. Has he actually spoken tough on this menace that is happening in Jos Plateau? The answer is no. Why is he not talking? We don't know. I don't know, and I can't really say why. It is heartbroken that a nation of 200 million people, a nation of 200 million people is being ruled today by sycophants. And many people say maybe Buhari is not aware. Since this whole menace have been happening, we've not heard the president speak. We've not heard the president addressing the nation. I want to ask a very simple question. Do we still have a president? Every time I listen to the news, every time I read, the news, all I hear the presidency is speaking under Gabashew. For quite some time now, it has been Malam Gabashew that have been deputizing on behalf of the president. When we actually have a president who is in the country, who is ill and healthy according to them, whose brain are intact according to Today Bakare, but it is becoming worrisome for us that a president who had all these, criteria today cannot address its people when the ships are down. You guys can understand right now that in America today, I've said it before, even yesterday, when there was, a bomb blast at Kabul International Airport in Afghanistan, and 12 or 13, U.S. military were killed in that suicide bomber, President Joe Biden that we know is older than President Muhammadu Buhari by age flew, I repeat the word, flew to the U.S. naval base to receive the remains of these 12 or 13 gallant American soldiers that lost their lives in the line of battle. When there was an attack on the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna State, I expected the president to be foaming. I expected him to be angered. I expected him to be outraged by that singular incident. But it was downplayed as if nothing actually happened. The question I want to ask again, do we really have a president in this country? If we do, is Mr. President hale and hearty? But they are quick in responding to issues of trying to expose their dealings in Nigeria. They were quick to counter or to debunk or to reply the allegations of the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom. But they have never been quick in restoring peace and tranquility in Nigeria. After Commander Kunle had an interview on Channels Television, they were quick. They saw the video quickly and they called for the arrest of Chamberlain and the other anchor of that very particular interview, which they later turned into interrogation or questioning. But they are never quick in dealing with pressing issues like insurgency, like banditry, like terrorism, like the former Elders' War, not crisis anymore. When it happens, they look the other way around. That is why people of conscience like me are beginning to ask, do we really have a president? If yes, my next question to Nigerians is Muhammadu Buhari really in charge? I remember in 2014, prior to the general election of February 2015, this president, while he was then the opposition candidate of the APC, said that if he is being elected, that if he is being given the privilege to serve the people of Nigeria, that he will end insurgency in 6 months. Right now, we are running into his 6 years. President Muhammadu Buhari only meant insurgency or insecurity right now in the Northeast. around Borno, Yobe, and those environments. Today, his home state is in a state of anarchy, to the point the governor of Katsina State, Governor Bello Masari, told his people to also go and buy weapons and defend themselves against these murderous, land grabbing foreigners that have invaded our nation. I was also reading the news yesterday when I saw where the Fulanese cattle herders went into someone's farm, uproot the mass yam. You know, this is the season of yam harvest. Harvested this mass farm, yams. I'm not saying cassava now. Yams from the ground, and fed it to his cows. The presidency or the president haven't done anything to end this very particular trend. When people now decide to come outside and say there is a coalition, the presidency is colliding with the Fulanese invaders, they will come out and call it hate speech. They will go after the man who made the statement. They will do everything to make sure they debunk, destroy, terminate, do everything to make sure that the man does not actually remain alive. My question again is this: what do you expect the people to do when a government is not there to take care of them? We all know what is happening in Afghanistan today. The same kid glove, attitude was what led to the strength of the Taliban terrorist organization in Afghanistan. And we also know there was one of these leaders of the APC who says the taking over of the reign of power by the Taliban is a win-win. It's a win-win. Guys, I want us to begin to ask questions. People will say, let us divide. That's okay. We are getting to that, but I'm going to explain a little bit about division or disintegration. I also saw a video yesterday trending on the internet where our brothers in the East, the IPOBs, were killing the defense corps. That action, I'm going to say very clearly, was uncalled for. Two wrongs can never make anything right. Do you know the worst part of it? The guy that they killed were actually Igbos who is serving their fatherland as of today. Not Hausas. Because they saw them on the Defense Corps uniform, they shot at them. I want to ask again, do we really have a president in Nigeria? These are the people under the leadership of Mazuna Kano agitating for self-determination. But as of today, these people have taken arms against their own citizens. Is anyone safe in Nigeria as of today? Because the moment those who are agitating for self-determination decided to take arms against the nation, this is the end result. The Libya crisis. This is the end result. The Sudan crisis. This is the end result. The Somalia crisis. This is the end result. The Ethiopia-Eritrea crisis. These nations I have mentioned today, they are all in total anarchy as a result of not being able to put aside their different, issues and discuss things in a manner that will bring peace and tranquility. And I also read on the news when the IGP ordered an intensive, brutal force on the people of the Southeast. Like I said, I'm always giving it the way they are. Where the government is making mistakes, I'm going to say it. Where the agitators are making mistakes, I'm going to blow it open. That's what I do. I don't belong to any of this group. When I read that on the news, I asked myself a simple question. I have never seen these people giving such an order when it comes to the North. Then I begin to think. Then this brings me to another question. Are all Nigerians actually Nigerians? Are all Nigerians actually Nigerians? That is one question that I want us to ask. Do we have two laws for one country? The army came out to warn Plateau residents not to take the laws into their hands. Yes, yes. The special task force that is operating in Plateau warned the residents not to take the laws into their hands. So they're indirectly telling you, when the bandits, the land grabbers, comes into your land, put your head down. Let them slaughter you like a lamb that was led to the slaughterhouse. Do not say anything. Do not do anything. Do not resist being killed. Just lay down. Let them slaughter you. Then we will come after. It is only in Nigeria that a government will tell the vulnerables who are being oppressed by certain group of people who they have already called criminals. Underline the word criminals. For you not to take an action when they are coming for your life. There is a UN charter. There is an African, Union Charter, the Commonwealth Charter, and the Nigerian Constitution. That gives right to self-defense. The freedom to live. Oh God. Then when such freedom is not being restricted at the point of you being killed, there should be a series of questions to be answered. This leads me to another question again. Do we really have a country? Are we living in a civilized world, or we are living in the Stone Age world? The only time that President Muhammadu Buhari had spoken was when the southern Nigerian governors, except Hope Uzodinma, anyways, unanimously agreed to promulgate a law to ban open grazing in the south. The president, after some few days, had an interactive session with Arise News, led by Ruben Abati. And when a question was thrown to him on the decision of the southern governor, the President Muhammadu Buhari left that question and decided to explain or express his decision or his thought. Please, guys, just hold on. Let me put on my inverter, because in the next few minutes now they're going to take the light. You know, this is Nigerian for you. So let me. Okay, it's on. So I'm free. Sorry, guys. It's on so that when they take the light, this place don't turn into a dark, area. Now, all he could do was to say, oh, there was once upon a time a grazing route and a grazing reserve. So I'm going to revamp those areas for the cattle herders to go through. And when I went back to check a little bit, because I'm always good at doing researches before I come online, so that even when I talk, I have evidences to back up what I say. It was proven that the grazing reserve, grazing route were actually created before independence under the colonial masters, when the entire nation was less than 40 million people. The country called Nigeria today, the land mass is not increasing, but the population is exploding. Today, we are nearly 5 times the size, of Nigeria as at the 50s, where this very particular grazing reserve, grazing route were established by the colonial masters. You also know, guys, that during that time, the entire African continent was under the control of the British, the Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, and the Belgians. Let me just say, the Europeans. So there was an easy inter-nations. Okay. Are you guys listening to me right now? If you are hearing me, if you are hearing me, just put yes. I want to get some little response, guys. You know, it helps me to talk more, to teach more on what I do. If you're hearing me, just say yes. If it's interesting to you, please just say yes, guys, and give me some thumbs up. Okay, guys. Thank you, Sister Abua. You are always there for me. God bless you, ma. Please, let me get more response. Let me get more response as I continue, because I want to take a very, defined, teaching tonight. Okay. Or this morning, rather. See, for me to wake up this morning, you see, I couldn't even sleep because I think about this nation. I love my fatherland. I can't remain in another man's land for this long a time. Some of us feel comfortable. I was sometime. But as you get older and older by the day, you will understand that home is actually home. Nothing like home. You will get the fact clear that no matter the life you live in another man's land, you remain a foreigner. You remain a slave. It is not your home. It can never be your home. This is the truth of the matter. So, there was what we called the grazing route, which he said is going to revamp to come into existence. Now, let's assume, with all benefit of that put aside, that law actually covered the entire nation. which actually, with all honesty, it was only in the north, not even in the south. There was nothing like Grazing Road in the south because all their jobs of cattle rearing ends in the north of Nigeria. Let's assume there was this very particular law in 1950 or even after the independence, because we must begin to tell ourselves the truth. This is where some of our agitators are making the mistake. They are just hammering us things. They are not teaching the people the fact of the matter. Now, before 1960 or immediately after independence, but do you know that, like I said in one of my videos, the South East, the Southwest had their independence in 1957, not 1960. Many of you don't know that. Self-determination, self-independence of the Southeast and the Southwest was actualized actually in 1957, not 1960. The North got their freedom, self-determination, self-independence in 1959, not 1960. So the Southeast and the Southwest, they were already ruling themselves. Without the British coming in, the parliament was not taken over by the Southeasterners and Southwesterners as at 1957. Then in 1960, they had a complete independence of the nation called Nigeria. So they were regional independency before the independence of 1960 that gave birth to Nigeria as of today. You guys should know this. Very important. They're not telling you, but I'm going to tell you today, guys. Now, in 1960, we have the independent constitution which mandated or allowed what we call the regional government. Like I said now, the region of the East had independence in 1957. The region of the West had independence in 1957. The region of the North had independence in 1959. Then the nation called Nigeria had independence in 1960. So when the British were leaving, they actually left that regional system of government, knowing fully well that Nigeria is made up of many nations inside a nation. When people blame Britain, we must begin to see ourselves getting the fact clear. Nigeria got, there was nations. British knew that there were nations inside the nation called Nigeria. So they gave the nation self-determination, rulership within the contraction called Nigeria. Britain actually left behind for Nigeria the British system of government. Because British is actually another multinational nation called the United Kingdom, which is made up of Wales, the English people, the Scottish, and the islands. 4 nations makes up the United Kingdom. So they understood the diversity in different nationalities coming together to form a contraction called Nigeria. So when we blame the British sometimes, we should think a little bit deeper to understand what actually transpired. Was it the fault of the British? Or is the fault of some elements who wishes to take over Nigeria from the indigenous Nigerians? So, if you want to bring back the grazing route, the grazing reserve, why are these people not bringing back the entire 1960 or 1963 constitution? You don't pick what you think is good for you and decide to leave those things you feel is not in favor of your agenda. If you are going back to bring up the 1950 decree or constitution, why not also bring back the 1950, 1960, 1963 T66 constitution that gave each region of the nation the ability to rule themselves? Why not also bring back the regional system of government that was put in place by the British, knowing fully well that is the only way there can be peace in Nigeria? I listen to many of our brothers who blame the West for the woes of the African people. I'm going to say it very clearly. The greatest problem of the Africans are the Africans. We are our own problem. We are the problem of Africa. We aren't zombies. We aren't robots. We have the same blood in our vein like the white men. They ruled us from 1914 to 1960. That is a space of 56 years. 56 years. And why did they rule us? They did not exclude our people from their style of governance based on the books that I've read. They were all inclusive of the colonized people. They may not be the bosses, but they were also people that were close to the bosses to actually know what was transpiring within the corridor of power. But to my greatest disappointment, the leaders of the African continent refuses to learn anything from the colonial masters who brought civilization and modernization and corruption into Africa. The most shocking part of it is this, guys. They were able to learn one part, which is the corruption part. The looting and the stealing part, they were quick to learn that. Are you guys surprised that stealing and looting actually came from Europeans? If you think I'm lying, go ask the Benin people. The Benin invasion, 1897, that was looting. Go ask the Americans, how did they build the New York? Go ask the British people, how did they build the Britain Empire? They looted other people's wealth. They stole. They stole. That was the only thing that your fathers were able to learn from the white man. They refused to learn the good side. How they turned a forest to become a city. They didn't learn that. They learned the evil part because of their greed. Let me continue. Don't mind me. I'm going to take your time this morning a little bit so I can leave this here. When people wake up, they can go over this very particular video. Please make sure if you are here, just press the share button. Don't be selfish about it. Let's make this go viral. People need to hear some of this fact. Now he wants to bring back the grazing reserve and the grazing road, but it's not bringing back the regional system of government. And if you ask them, they will say the North is not benefiting from the South. Neither is the South benefiting from the North. Why not allow us to return back to the original status quo that was created by the British before they leave? I have traveled wide and near. I've left this country for more than 2 decades. And I've gone around. I think there's just maybe only Australia that I've not gone to when you call by the continents. Every time I go, because I was into food nutrition, like you all know, I'm a professional chef, I'm a cook. And so every time I go to any place, the first thing I need to check or do is to check the food system, the farming system. I've been to Italy many times and other part of Europe. I've gone to some part of Asia also. I've never seen people still doing nomadic cattle. Even in Afghanistan. Even in Afghanistan. They've introduced a new system of pastoralship called ranching. These guys are already taking up that. Do you know why? Because when ranching is put in place, the agenda to colonize the nation can never be accomplished. Many of the certain governors and political leaders, they know this. They know. They know. But because we are very greedy in the South, very, very greedy people, very, very greedy people, will feel it is impossible. When they killed the son of that very particular senator, now you hear them crying. Do you know how many sons of a nobody have been slaughtered without the president making a statement? I want to ask you again, do we really still have a president? I know maybe at the end they might come for me for this. It's a start already. With DSS, the NIA or whatever they call themselves, they might decide to call for this young man because he has said the obvious truth. But some of us, we can't continue keeping quiet because we are afraid to die. My generation had failed. The generation before me had failed. But I will not want what my fathers bequeathed to me, I should bequeath it to my children. That is why I am using my platform to educate the people on what is needed to be known. I might not be that popular because of my style, which I have refused to change because this is the best I can do. Okay. But the few people that have been able to impact their lives will continually remembering me for the fight I fought for the liberation of my kind, particularly the Nigerian people, either from the north to the south. Let me shock you something before I will round off today. I spoke with a guy who is an Hausa. Take note, there's a difference between a Fulani man and an Hausa man. When I spoke with him, we were talking a few days ago. He's a very big guy. He lives in Benin here. He told me, he said, Oga, 80% of Hausas, this is a secret though, 80% of Hausas are happy for what the South are doing for them. I said, ow, Oga, why? How you talk like that? It's a very big guy. He's a Buridi Chen guy. It's one of my guys that I use. He said, do you know that we in the North, we have been oppressed since the time of Usman Danfodio? He said our lands have been taken away from us. He said they turn all of us into beggars and slaves in our own indigenous land. He said something that shocked me. He said, have you thought of it? He said, when last was an Hausa man a president? He said, even in the states in the north, check the entire states in the north, all the governors are of the Fulani instruction. But the entire Fulani population is not even up to 10 million. They are good people. They are good Fulanis, okay? They are good ones. They are good ones. Ones with very good hearts. But those ones that was brought in 2015, prior to the election, have corrupted the mind of the indigenous Fulanis because of the quick money that they are having. I think I also said in one of my videos that this is the last bus stop for the Fulani people. Every other nation where they have a hold on, they have been defeated by the indigenous people. This is the only country left. They think this is their last bus stop. If they lose this one, they are going to be homeless, countryless all their lives. And having seen the rate at which development is going today, the next 10, 15, 20 years, the nomadic system of farming, if even they refuse to stop it, will just go into extinction on its own. Because development would have overtaken every part and parcel of the land. At that time, farms will not be at the center of communities. We all know what I'm talking about. It is already happening today in some part of Nigeria. If you go to Lagos now, I don't think there are lands for you to do those farming anymore. So we are going to have that happening very soonest. So they are doing everything to strategize in order for them to have a hold on a nation they can call their own. My question to you again is this: why did the president today contested to be the president of Nigeria? What were his reasons? What were the motives behind his coming in as the president? Lastly, guys, I listened to Pastor Tunde Bakare's interview with Channel Television. And in that interview, there was a revelation that he said he got. I think he actually misinterpreted the revelation that God gave to him. I don't know if you guys watched it. If you watched the interview, please can you just say yes? If you watched that very particular interview of Tunde Bakare, can you say yes here, please? Or if you didn't watch it, just say no. So let me know, and let me know how to explain it. If you watched that interview of Tunde Bakare with Channel Television, say yes. Or if you didn't watch it, just say no. Please, guys, at least I need your response so I know what to do next. Are you guys hearing me? I'm getting a very quiet. Hello, guys. Are you guys hearing me, please? Just say yes if you watched it, or say no if you haven't. So we know I know how to do that. So I quickly have to do that off. Then we'll explain that and we'll call it a day for today. My battery's already running down. Okay, anyways, let me just continue. I think that I will just explain that. He said during the merger of 2014 of yes, I'm in Nigeria. Are you in Nigeria? Are you in Nigeria? Okay, you're in Nigeria now. Okay, you can just send me a message. You can send me a message later in the day. Just send it to my to my DM. So maybe we'll meet in town later. I don't meet people anyways. I don't always meet people. I've been home for 8 months. Eight good months. I promise you, 8 good months. But I never see anybody because I'm just I'm just one person. I've been busy with my life. Now, he said in that dream, in that vision, so while they were going to do this merger, they were driving, and now they got the president, Muhammadu Buhari, which was then the leader of the CPC, was driving a car, and he parked the car. While he parked the car, he stepped out and said he wanted to ease himself. And Tunde Bakare said he was with Nasser El-Rufai and this guy that died, this activist that died, Yinka Odumakin, in one car. Tunde Bakare said, and he told them, the way the way Buhari parked the car was not okay. He had to go out and help them and help him park the car properly. And he said, when he got to the car, he found out there was no ignition, There was no steering. There was no gear. No, mama not come. Mama travel actually. Mama not this week. She just travel. She travel. Say she want to do some tour around around the Europe. I said okay, maybe she do a tour now. So I did do something here, so it's a little bit tough for her. She cannot withstand the stress that I'm trying to put in place. Maybe if you take time to see later, now we can easily talk about this. Okay. So, in that sense, when it got there was no steering, there was no ignition, there was no gear. Now, these three components, this is where this guy made a mistake. These three components actually mix up a car to move. Because the ignition is what will set the engine working. Even when the engine is in perfect condition, the ignition is not working. The engine is more or less like a knocked engine. The gear is what actually helps in either moving the car forward or moving the car backward. You want to call the drive or the reverse. Okay. Number 3, the steering is what actually steers the direction of the car without not colliding with other vehicles on the road. So you will not know when a car has no ignition, it can't move. Even when the engine is intact, the car can't move. So there's no difference between a car that had no ignition and a car that the engine had knocked. There's no difference. Number 2, like I said now, the gear helps to change the direction of the motion of movement, either to the back or to the front. While the steering is not used to steer the direction of the movement, not to go into destruction. These 3 great components was taken along when Buhari went to ease himself, according to Pastor Tunde Bakare. He said it was a revelation, but I'm just here to let him know what the revelation is all about. God spoke in 2014 that this man is going to make Nigeria stagnant. God spoke in 2014 that this man is going to make Nigeria the shadow of itself. But the people who were supposed to have actually understood thought the opposite. That if the man does not come in as the president, Nigeria will be useless. How can a man was driving a car, left the steering of the car to go ease himself, went into the forest, and took away the vital components to steer the car away from harm's way? In that dream, according to him, Buhari never came back to that car to drive the car from where he left the car. Many of us warned, and one hell of a guy who warned us from accepting this guy, this man, but they never listened. We can only get it right now, if they sat unanimously agree to speak in one voice. It is unfortunate that Hope Uzodinma of Imo State had become a mole in the south of Nigeria. There are still other many moles who are in the corridor of lesser powers that have decided to continually destroy what is left of this nation called Nigeria. I want to ask two questions before I end again. Do we really still have a nation? And do we really still have a president? I will leave you guys to ponder on these two vital questions that I've thrown to you this morning. And I believe, and I'm sure, when you are able to get an answer to this question, you might be able to get a solution to the problem that have beclouded the Nigerian state. The problem of Nigerians is not imported. The problem of Nigerians are Nigerians. Who feels wet is all that matters. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all for your time. I took you out very early this morning. I thought I was just going to leave it here. People are going to watch it. I never knew that people will be out here to actually follow us. Okay, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be doing some of these lectures more often. You know, this is what I do. Okay, this is what.
Thank you, my people. Now we'll join the curtain for this one. We'll be coming back again shortly. We'll have more videos for you guys today. Thank you. Now God bless all of you now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you right there. Thank you and take care.